Hey everybody, Tim Anderson here, aka Renfell. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the recent EG7 Q4 2021 report, talking about all the cool things that they've got going on, and more importantly, why Lord of the Rings Online is shaping up to be the biggest MMORPG of 2022, despite the fact that this game has been out for something like 14, 15 years. We're going to dive into that today, but before we do, if this is your first time to the channel, don't forget to like the video when you get to the end of this if you like what you hear today. And of course, stick around, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon if you want more of the same, because I do a lot of different stuff here on YouTube, game related, book related, show related, and beyond. Don't forget to check out the playlists, and we do have a Discord. Links are down below. Let's dive in, everybody. This is an intense day as I was reading through this. So this report just came out recently. This is basically the interim report for January December 2021 from ENAD Global 7, also known as EG7. Now, for those of you who don't remember, this is a company that bought out Daybreak Studios a couple years back, and they have a lot of irons in the fire. So they obviously are now the owners of the Lord of the Rings online franchise, as well as everything that Daybreak owns, which is EverQuest 1, EverQuest 2, PlanetSide. We got the announcement last year that Daybreak is going to be now the publisher of the upcoming Magic the Gathering Online iteration. Lots of other things going on here. So this is a huge PDF, a huge report if you want to actually dive into the whole thing, but it does cover a lot of interesting stuff. The most importantly is, of course, the fact that um, in terms of what do they consider to be their medium term value drivers for the immediate future. It's going to be major updates to Lord of the Rings Online, um, DC Universe Online, and Magic the Gathering Online. Now, they have a whole bunch of other things going on here, but one of the things I want to talk about is the reason why Lord of the Rings Online is shaping up to be the biggest MMORPG of 2022, and that's the simple fact that we have the Rings of Power show coming out. And for good or for bad, I mean, a lot of you who are here realize that I have some very strong feelings about the Rings of Power show, but it is driving a ton of interest into all things Tolkien. And Lord of the Rings Online has the market cornered in the sense that they are the only existing MMORPG set in the world of Middle Earth. So even though it's not going to be based around the Rings of Power show, we're going to have a lot of people who then get interested in all things Middle Earth and want to find out what video games can I play that are in the Middle Earth franchise, and they're going to find Lord of the Rings Online. And they even focus, they talk about here, one of the key business focus for 2022, short-term value drivers is the fact that the LOTRO boost from the Amazon show is going to drive a significant chunk of traffic towards Lord of the Rings Online as an MMORPG. Now, you can dive into that here. There's a whole bunch of more information that talks about the profitability, how the fact that Lord of the Rings and Dungeons and Dragons Online acquired in 2016. Since then, the games have contributed over SEK 900 million in revenue. There's a whole bunch of interesting stuff in here. Plus, if you're a fan of Magic the Gathering, they got a bunch of good information in here because Magic the Gathering Online is going to be, or they expect it to follow the same paths, footsteps as Lord of the Rings Online, Dungeons and Dragons Online, both of which are really good games. Now, I obviously play Lord of the Rings Online, and I have since it came out. I've talked about this a lot on my channel. In fact, if you've been here for a long time, I have been streaming this game since I started this YouTube channel in 2017. I've been making content around Lord of the Rings Online. Not full time, but I definitely come in and I play 3-4 months every single year, usually with my brother. Right now, our gaming community, the Blackbirds, are playing on the Laurelland server Thursday nights, Friday nights, and Saturday nights. If you want to join us, you can. Laurelland is a free to play server. You do not need a subscription. And you can either hit me up in game when I'm streaming on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday nights, or you can join our Discord. Links are down there. And look us up in the LOTRO section of the Discord channel to get an invite. Now, I will say this. There are some things I've loved about the game and some things I've hated about the game over the years. One of the things that in the past I was criticized, and a lot of people criticized, but this was that they didn't have an all-in-one pack. They used to have, I think the best they offered for quite a few years was what was known as the Quad Pack, which I own alongside with my brother. And it was the Mines of Moria, Mirkwood, Isengard, and Rohan expansions. So those four expansions. And so one of the barriers of entry for a lot of people was the fact that, well, there's no all-in-one, and they're going to nickel and dime me for everything else. And that's not untrue. Although I will say that I don't necessarily begrudge a company anything they're going to do if it's going to keep a game alive, especially when it's a legacy game like Lord of the Rings Online that's been out for a very long time. If I remember correctly, this came out in 2007, so we're definitely looking at a game that's been out 14, 15 years by now. The graphics are still good, but one of the things that EG7 announced when they bought Daybreak and a couple of years back was they said that they are focused on a graphic update for 2022. And if we go back really quick before I talk about the expansion stuff, because I forgot to mention this earlier, they mention in the medium-term value drivers major updates to Lord of the Rings Online coming in 2002, and I anticipate that that's still related to the graphical overhaul, which I think the game has done a very good job of keeping up to date with the graphics over the years, but they are obviously planning something even bigger because they don't want to miss out on all this traffic that they're going to be getting from the Amazon show and them being the only MMORPG on the market that's set in Middle Earth. Anyway, going back to the expansions topic, they now have this thing called the LOTRO expansion trove, which is $60, and it gets you everything up to and including Mordor. Now, obviously, they've done a lot more beyond Mordor. We can go up through here and we can talk about the Gundabad expansion and all the future plans. They have continued to crank content out since the Moria expansion dropped a few years ago. But for those of you who are going to be coming in who might be new to the game, your primary interest is going to be following along with the adventures of the characters from the books, from the Lord of the Rings books. And that means everything from the start off in the Shire to dropping the ring into Mount Doom and Mordor. And that's what this pack gets you. It gets you, what is it, six? One, two, three, four, five, six expansions. So that's $10 per expansion plus you get the base game, all of that for $60. I think this is an incredibly good deal. I am not sponsored by Standing Stone Games in any way, shape, or form. I'm just going to say that I think this is an incredible deal because you get six expansions, which is somewhere around in the ballpark. I think of like 12 years of content. Included in for $60. Now, there's obviously this discussion beyond that of whether or not do you go free to play or do you pay for a VIP subscription. Um, I've got some outdated videos that are a couple years old now. I need to do some new ones for 2022, but if you go digging in my Lotro playlist, I do a pro and con on the VIP versus a pro and con free to play. But this game is absolutely, you can play it free to play. It's actually really not a bad deal. You get, especially if you don't know if you want to spend $60 on the expansion packs, you can play the base game for free, and you're going to get probably 2 to 3 months of content out of that before you feel the need to go into Moria and beyond. By that point, you'll know, do I want to buy an expansion? And you'll also know, do I need a VIP subscription or do I just keep playing free to play? Because like my brother has always, not always, but I'd say 85-90% of the time he has played free to play over the years. And as a result, he has just unlocked all of the features on his account over the years so that he doesn't have to worry about any of the. I think the only limitation he has right now between a VIP and free to play is he can't use fast travel, or as he can't use as many fast travel options as I can because I always play VIP. The long and short of it is there is a ton of content in this game, and the fact that we've got the Rings of Power show coming out in September, and the fact that this is the only MMORPG on the market, combined with the fact that EG7 is making major updates to this game. Standing Stones continues to push out regular content for this game. They have a very healthy community, very good servers. It's a damn fun game. I still come back to this and tell people that for me, Lord of the Rings Online has always been my favorite MMORPG. It's the one game I come back to every year without fail. Has some of the best writing in the game, best writing in any MMORPG I've ever seen, to be honest with you. There are some quirks because it is a 15-year-old game at this point, but these are things that they're working on over time and slowly fixing. And like I said, if they're doing the graphic overhaul and all this other stuff to continue to make the game even more modernized, to capture that new audience that's going to be coming because of the show. None of these are bad things, and that's why I think Lord of the Rings Online is going to be the biggest MMORPG of 2022, or one of the biggest in any case, despite the fact that it's such an old game. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Drop those down in the comments below. If you got to the end here and you liked the video, I'd love it if you would hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Get that bell icon touched over there too so that you can get all the future updates that I do for Lord of the Rings and other things that I do. Don't forget, this is a variety channel. We do a lot of different things, shows, books, video games, other things. You can also join our Discord, links are down below. And we do have a Discord community for Lord of the Rings Online. So if you want to come join our gaming community, go down into the Discord section for Lord of the Rings Online, ask us for an invite. We're on the Laurelland server called the Blackbirds. It is free to play, so if you want to come join us, test it out, you can. Hopefully, we'll see you there. If not, over at Discord. And don't forget that if you want to support the channel, you can join as a member, get some cool perks. You can also head over to the Patreon page for the Weave of the Void, which is the world I'm building with my brother and my wife. It's a 5th edition tabletop world setting campaign modules, point and click adventure game. You can get the downloaded free demo today and a book series being published through Patreon, kind of like Dragonlance if you like that kind of stuff. So hopefully we'll see you there as well. All those links are down there, everybody. Stay safe, have fun, and hopefully we'll see you in the next video or in game or somewhere on the internet. Bye, everybody.